Welcome back to the channel and welcome to this special edition and special episode so that we can weigh in and have some observations about Honda and their 50th anniversary Goldwing. I am here with my 2024 Goldwing, so I guess that makes this the 49th year of Honda building bikes. Glad you're along. We got some fun things to talk about. That's next. I don't think we should be too surprised, honestly, that Honda didn't make major changes for the 50th. You know, from afar it made sense that, yeah, they're going to do something special, but not too long ago I did a video that talked about Honda's history starting back in 1975, and when I went back and looked at that closely, it was pretty clear that they did not, for the anniversary editions, they did not make major changes, but they did focus on paint and decals and commemorative type things and emblems and, you know, played up the story and the history. So maybe we shouldn't be too surprised that there weren't major changes. Well, for the 2025 50th anniversary model, you've got options. So the options are some new colors and all the commemorative badging and the neat things that come along with that. Looks like they've got a little 3D model with the 1975 first Honda Goldwing on one side and then the 2025 model on the other side. So that's kind of neat. A commemorative book and all of that. And so the colors, you know, you got the Bordeaux red and then the golden color. There's that's interesting, but it makes sense, doesn't it? Right? It's the 50th anniversary, golden anniversary, so they're going to make a gold color bike. So that all makes sense. And I've got a story to share with you about when I first saw the gold 50th anniversary Goldwing, what I first thought of. Here it is. When I first saw that gold paint as one of the options, what I thought about was the car that I took my driver's license test in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. So my parents at that time had a 1969 Ford Country Squire station wagon. So the color, it was this yellow, kind of a gold color. It may have been called Wimbledon. I tried to do a little research on that, but anyway, it had paneling on it. I show up at the DMV to take my test, and the guy comes out, the examiner comes out, hops in the passenger seat, and he's like, really? This is the car you're taking your driver's test in? This thing was like 25 feet long. So we pull out of the parking lot. We go about maybe 50 yards down the road, and he sees two cars parked on the street, and he tells me to parallel park between those two cars. So I pulled up, parallel parked, no problem. And he said, okay, you're done. Let's go back to the station. So it's that moment and the 69 Ford Country Squire station wagon that the new Honda Goldwing reminded me of. I had to tell you that story. All right, let's take a minute and talk about some of the changes or updates. There aren't too many, but there's a few for 2025, and it starts with Apple CarPlay. So as those folks know who have a bike, you need to plug in, right? You need to plug your phone in to be able to run Apple CarPlay. Well, not any longer. So Honda has made that wireless. So I think that's a really good thing. All right, let's talk about navigation. So in the past, all the way through 24, the 18 through the 24, Honda had built-in navigation. Well, guess what? That's not there anymore. They decided to pull that. I think they probably found that more people were not using their navigation program and they were using their own through, other means, lots of other options to get navigation. So Honda no longer is including navigation as part of the package. So after the introduction of the 2025 model, let's try to answer this question. Where does the Honda Goldwing rank relative to the other touring options that are out there? So, BMW, Harley-Davidson, Indian, they all have some pretty great options. Well, here's what I can tell you for sure. The Honda Goldwing is still a very exceptional motorcycle. And the features that are on it, to be able to ride two up, the transmission options, you can get it in standard transmission or with the dual clutch. I love the dual clutch transmission. It's fantastic. And all the things that come with this is no doubt, in my opinion, and for me, the best touring motorcycle I've owned. So there's a lot of positives there. I think where the Goldwing we could probably all agree on is that relative to what I'm going to call rider-focused technologies that are really coming onto the scene, the Goldwing is now a little bit behind. So whether it's BMW or Indian or even Harley-Davidson, they need to be thinking about when are we going to employ some of those additional things. As I mentioned a couple of these other brands, let's just start with BMW. And recently I was at a BMW launch event and learned a lot about the GSA coming out. And they've got some incredible rider-focused technologies. So that's the adaptive cruise control type system. It's got blind spot monitoring. There's some upgraded audio that's coming in the RT. Lots of those types of things, adaptive ride heights. So there's some really neat technology, but those come at a cost as well. Another manufacturer that's really stepping up their game is Indian. And Indian's got a new power plant in their touring models. And I think that's called Power Plus. And so pretty impressive stats there, 126 horsepower, 133 foot-pounds of torque. But beyond that, they've got this rider-centric technologies that really are there for blind spot and rear collision and all those kind of things that they're really stepping their game up. So that'll be interesting to see how popular that becomes. But those technologies are really starting to develop, aren't they? All right, so another manufacturer that's done a pretty nice job with stepping up in technology and systems is Harley-Davidson. So I have a good friend, Jeff, who this last summer purchased a 2024 Street Glide. And I learned a lot about it, and I really like their TFT display. I like the touchscreen. I like how easy it is to navigate to different modes and to put in navigation and all of that. So they're certainly ahead a little bit here, but I'm interested to know, what is your opinion? What do you think about all this technology that's getting into bikes? And is that something that you're really interested in? Or are you okay that Honda hasn't rushed to that and that they're letting the suppliers who build all these systems, kind of work through all that with others, and then Honda can bring that forward a little later? Let me know what you think. Well, the 50th anniversary Goldwing may have fallen just a little bit short of what we were hoping for, but we can all agree that it's still an exceptional motorcycle. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that there wasn't a major shift in 2025, because now I can take off the table. I don't have to think about getting an updated model. I'm going to be pretty happy with this right here. Thanks so much for coming along today. Fun to talk about this 50th anniversary model and where it's all going. Really appreciate all the subscribers out there. If you're new today to the channel, welcome. Thank you for checking in. And as always, and until next time, take care.